došli u posebnu jednu emisiju i moram reći da je veliko zadovoljstvo kao novinaru i kao muzičaru što imam čast i privilegiju da razgovaram s jednim od najboljih gitarista svih vremena, gospodinom Tomijom Emanuelom. Mr. Emmanuel, I want to thank you for being here and say it's a great privilege and honor to have you play in our city and to meet you and be able to listen to your playing. Yeah,
Dobar dan. Thank you. Thank you. Well, there I am with the hat on.
Looks good on you. So, Mr. Emmanuel, I just wonder, your story is so great and so fantastic, and you started guitar at such an early age and started playing with your family band. So, what was it like growing up in Australia with a musical family, and when did you know the guitar is going to be your living?
I didn't know anything else. Always the guitar has been my life. Ever since my mother gave me my first guitar when I was 4 years old. And she showed me how to play chords while she played Hawaiian lap steel guitar. And to play together was like magic because I'm the accompanist, I'm playing rhythm and she's playing the melody. All of a sudden we are making music. So it's like magic to me. Yeah. And then my brother, my closest brother, wanted to play guitar too, so I had to learn how to play all these new songs. And so we figured out how to use our ear, and we heard a song on the radio or on a record, then we worked out, we went looking for the chords and for the sounds. And basically that's how I started in music. But it wasn't till we started performing live that I knew I only want to be on the stage. You know, it's my favorite thing to do. And people they go crazy when we played music and I moved around as a little boy. People went crazy, and it was like I saw, oh, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I never moved from that. I've always played because I love playing, and I love to play for the people, you know. And that's how I live my life. It's how I make a living. And I hope I'm trying to create something to hand on to the younger people so they can see if he can do it, I can do it.
And thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
You're bringing joy to a lot of people with your music.
Thank you.
So we are talking about you playing with a family band as a child, and those are probably the 60s. The Beatles are big. What were the biggest influences on your playing?
Well, the Beatles are bigger influence on me now than they were then, because as a little boy, I didn't appreciate the Beatles so much because I was tuned in to guitar players and country music and things like that. So I didn't appreciate them until later. Now it's all I listen to if I'm home, I get in my car and put on the radio on the Beatles channel, and that's pretty much what I listen to, you know. I have never really just studied guitar players. I'm more about the song. I'm a songs person. So I've never really just studied guitar ever, you know. I've listened to everybody right back to before Django, before Les Paul, Chet Atkins and people like that. And then, you know, in the 60s, the Beatles came, and then Rolling Stones, so many English and American influences in my life, as well as Australian.
Yeah, you mentioned Chet. We, of course, have to mention him,
Yeah.
with the green thumb. I just wanted to ask you, I know it's a big influence on you, Chet's playing
course,
and Chet's personality. You've been friends with him. What's the biggest lesson Chet taught you?
Play the melody properly. Get the melody right. You know, I think he taught me to listen and listen properly, you know. And I know from listening to if I listen to a recording of myself when I was very young, I can tell that I wasn't listening enough and that it's not quite right, you know. But you cannot expect to have maturity when you are young. You are still too young, you know. And so that's why I never try to discourage young people who play everything too fast. They're out of tune, all this stuff. I was just the same, you know. So I try to tell them, when you get older, you will hear, oh, I'm out of tune. You will hear that, oh, my groove is not there, you know. And just last night, a friend of mine from Berkeley College in America sent me 2 videos of a young guitar player. I think he's probably 17 or 18. And I looked at them and I wrote, your groove is amazing. How can you have such a groove at such a young age? But then if you want to talk about people who are great when they're young, you know, Michael Jackson was a great example to us all. If you go back and listen to him sing as a little boy,
Jackson 5, yeah.
His singing is unbelievable. The feeling, the tone, how in tune he sings, and then the timing of everything. This is a gift, you know, and only every now and again does something so special come down the river for us, you know. So, you know, I feel like I've been playing the guitar professionally nearly 63 years, but I feel like now I'm just starting. That's how it feels.
You're definitely...
It feels like every day is something new, you know.
And that's what I wanted to ask you also. You're known for practicing a lot and playing almost every minute of your...
I like to play
time.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, how do you play like the songs you recorded maybe 20 years ago?
I think I play them better now. But, you know, I'm glad that I've always been a songwriter and that I have a high standard to try to reach. Because when I play a song that I wrote 30 years ago, now I'm much older and I can look back as a writer. I'm happy that I wrote these songs when I was younger because everything works. So that's a good feeling, you know. But still, I'm trying to write all the time. This video here of the song Fuel, it took me hours to write that song, about 3 hours to write the whole thing. And but I could not have written that song if I hadn't had my whole life listening to other writers.
Can you explain? I know the story how you wrote the song and where. Can you tell the like for our public? Can you explain how you got the idea for the song and where you get it?
This song here?
Yeah, the Fuel. Yeah.
Well, I saw a billboard for Harry Potter World, okay? And I started thinking about movies. And then I started thinking about movie music. So I started, there was a movie came in the 60s, a James Bond movie, Goldfinger. Right? And I started to think, oh, okay, when I think of these chords, my instinct says something's going to happen.
Cinematic.
You know? Something's coming, you know. So I found those chords which gave me the same feeling. And then I started thinking, I want to write something that is a little bit inspired by classical gas, with lots of movement, and the story unfolds, you know. So I wrote the song with many different time signatures in it, but you can tap time straight through it. It's all exactly in the groove, you know? And the chorus is like a pop chorus. It's like a singing. Da 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 dee dee dee, and then right, and then it breaks down into what I call the love theme. So in a famous piece like Star Wars, there's always some love part. So da, 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 down. This gives us a chance to breathe, you know. It's storytelling without words. So, then. Now we're back to the original time, right? So I'm using that as the main theme and then breaking it down into sections. So I was trying to be a composer for a movie, for a story, everything. I was trying to be all that in this one piece.
With such a vast catalog of music, your own, and you continuously enjoyed making covers of new arrangements of other people's music. Yeah. How do you choose a set list for concerts?
With a concert, all I have to decide is how will I start. The rest is easy. The rest comes, it flows. But I have a wide repertoire, so I can start slow, fast, medium, low, high, anything, you know. So I have to remember that I'm in the entertainment business. So the people must be entertained from the moment I appear on the stage. The entertainment must start straight away.
So you're basing on the audience.
I'm only there for the audience. That's what I care about, the audience. And the only thing on my mind is to try to play well and give the audience the best time. But also, at the same time, I want to fly my kite as high as I can, so that I know what works for the audience, but also I want to push myself. I want to push my abilities and to see what can happen. So that's why I play songs and I improvise, and so I can push myself. I think people want to see an artist pushed
on the edge,
a little. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody and you know he's just going through the motion and then he's finished. Oh, it was perfect. But where is the passion, you know?
But when you know your arrangements so well and you practice them so many times, then you have the freedom to express yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. How do you get that freedom? You practice. You know, there's no short way. There's no such thing.
You're also teaching at Berkeley.
I did, yeah.
You used to.
Many times.
What was your approach to teaching young
Well,
kids?
first of all, the funny thing about teaching in places like Berkeley is I'm the only person who cannot read music who's had no training. Why am I teaching? Because people like what I do, and the older I get, the more I'm discovering better ways to describe what's going on. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so also I think my confidence in, I'm not worried whether you think I have a degree or not. I don't care, you know. I know many people who say, I'm going to get a degree in music, I'm going to be a bachelor of music, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, good, but do you want, will you feed your family? Will you pay the mortgage? Will you pay your car payment? You better get to work, you know. But I love teaching. I also love the fact that I live in the real world, you know. I travel around and I make a living doing this, right? I don't pretend to be anything else, you know? And so if you're going to do that, then you better have something good to say, you know?
So tomorrow night at this Guitar Art Summer Fest in Herceg, Novi, you're sharing the stage once again with Vlatko. So
well,
I wanted,
Vlatko is doing his own show with an accordion orchestra, and that's very brave of him.
Yeah, he likes to experiment also. But you used to play together in Kings of Strings.
Yes. Oh, he's incredible.
And I wanted to ask you about that experience, and is it possible that it will happen again?
Well, maybe one day, maybe. I hope. It's hard to get hold of Stockolo. Yeah. He's a gypsy, so he never answers the phone.
Yeah. What was it like? That
There's a good joke about Stockolo. Yeah, because he's gypsy. He says, "Do you know how to make a gypsy omelette?" You know, an omelette, right? How do you make a gypsy omelette? He said, "Well, you steal 3 eggs."
That's a start. Yeah.
I don't know whether that translates into your language.
It does. It does. It does. Well.
So maybe one day we will. I hope. But it was a great experience, and I learned a lot because we only had a short time to get a 2-hour show together. There had to be a lot of music, and it had to be strong, right? And the strength had to come from 3 different sources. So I had to learn to play with Vlatko when he played the Butcher's Dance or the Piper's Dance or whatever, and I had to find a way of being able to show him, can you play on this song? And you know, so, you know, and for me, this song was very obvious how it goes, but to his brain, he's like, how does it go? You know, he didn't catch it, but eventually he did. You know, and that's how it works. And then I had to find songs that Stockolo could play with us, and then I had to find songs that Stockolo and myself could play. That was easy. Vlatko is a different story. So I had to get into that zone with
odd time signatures.
Yeah, odd times and all that stuff. And I would be the first person to say I am not good in odd times. I don't naturally play in odd times. It's hard for me because I'm a rock and roll guy. So I need to hear 1, 2, 3, I need to feel where that groove is. I cannot be creative in 7/8 or 11/8. I cannot be creative because I am not free. But I admire very much people who can. So we found a good compromise everywhere, and then we played the hell out of it, you know? And it took a little while to get the show together, but it was a team. It was a good team effort, you know. And I think it was good experience for all of us. And the public seemed to really like it. So.
What's next on this tour of Europe for you? Where are you going next?
Well, next I'm doing the blues cruise with Joe Bonamassa and Keb Mo and many other people. We are cruising in the Mediterranean out of Athens, and it's a huge ship. And I have done this cruise before, but not in the Mediterranean. I've done it in the Atlantic and the Pacific. So I'm doing that. Then I go to England to see my daughters and my grandchildren. And then I go to Canada for 3 weeks of touring right across Canada. And then back to Nashville for my guitar camp, which will be 4 days of teaching 150 students every day. Oh, it'll be so beautiful.
Who will be there at the camp, besides you, of course? Who will be other players?
Oh, John Jorgensen, Stephen Bennett, Richard Smith, Pat Bergeson, many great guitar players. I chose these people at my camp because they're good teachers. They're not just good players. Not all players are good teachers, believe me. It was my wife who said to me, "You are a bad teacher." She said, "You don't understand. You must break it down into small little pieces for these people." And that's when I became a little better teacher.
Yeah. A better with age, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Emmanuel, I want to thank you deeply from my heart. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here and coming to our little town.
Oh yeah, this is beautiful
playing
here.
For us and giving us the joy and spreading the joy of your music.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
I appreciate
much.
it. Look, my Larrivee guitar. That's a beautiful guitar. Yeah, very, very, very lucky.
Would you like to play us something before we
Sure.
go?
Let's play.
Play us out.
Play us out, exactly.
As
Yeah.
they say.
Here's a song that I wrote for my brother and my sister who passed away, and it's called "Song for a Rainy Morning." That's it.
Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. Oh, it's your show. Hello, your show. Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very much.